Hey everybody, it's Rolly. And so I wanted to share, so I wanted to jump on today to be able to talk a little bit about the signs and the, because I've been sharing a lot about like the aspects of like the 3 aspects of yourself. So it's just really super cool. Good morning, Lonnie. So you made it, yay! So there have been a lot of questions. So I have been sharing this in a couple of different groups, as well as sharing it on my business page. And so there's been a lot of like, really, that's kind of interesting. Like, tell me more. And so this has been something that I've been working on for the last probably about 3 years. So it's taken like, what I'm sharing with you guys is 3 years of learning. So because there's a lot of things about this and it might be a little bit longer than that, but 3 years has been where it is that I've kind of learned from and how I've been doing it. So I've been giving you guys a little bit of information about and some understanding about how we have different aspects of ourselves. And so the things that I've been sharing, good morning, Julie, has only been about the 3 signs, like our 3 signs. There's so many more aspects of it. And I'm not sure that I'm going to get into all of that this week, but like there's a lot of different points to it. So one of the things, so just to kind of recap for anybody that's going, what the heck is she talking about? I didn't see any posts. So if you don't know what I'm talking about and you haven't seen any posts, I've been sharing that we have 3 different signs that affect us. So there's actually more of that than that, but like 3 main signs. So we all know our sun sign, which is what we call our horoscope sign. So a lot of people refer to that as our horoscope sign, and forever, up until about 3 years ago, that's all that I knew. I only knew about our 3 signs. I only knew about our horoscope sign. So I'm like, what are you guys talking about? And so one of the things that, hey Jakota, so one of the things that I thought was really cool is that probably about a month and a half ago, Brooke actually shared a link with me, and before I even responded to her, is that I just went ahead and went and ordered it because it was like, oh my God, I want one of those. So this here is, I'm going to take it off so I can actually bring it closer to the camera. So this is my my chart, and I'll actually share my chart with you guys. So that's one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to share it, but I'm only going to be focusing on the 3 different aspects of myself on the chart. And if you are a chart reader, then you're going to know all the different things. Hang on, where can I get that closer? If I stay still, hang on. If I stay still, you guys can see it. So I'm going to share, like, this is my chart though. So they actually do it. They have it in gold as well. It keeps trying to zoom in when when it's moving. So this is, you can't see it. It's not zooming now. Darn, it was zooming. But anyway, that's my chart. So this is actually what it is that, so it has all of my planets, where they were when I was born. And that's exactly what astrology is. And when people talk about your birth chart or your natal chart, is where were all the planets aligned when we were born. And we have every one of those planets are in our chart. But depending on where they are situated will make a difference, but I'm not talking about that today. Those are like referring to houses. And I actually will jump on sometime this week and talk about that, as well as like where they are in the houses. Would you take a picture of your necklace and post it? Sure, I can definitely do that. Hey, Janice. And so it is, so now I actually get to have this. So Brooke actually sent me the link, and she's like, and so I was in the process of ordering it, and she's sending me messages trying to figure out, like, did you even get it? Like, do you not think it's cool? Like, and she saw that I read the comment, but I didn't answer her. And because I was busy ordering it, and I had to give all of my my coordinates and all that kind of stuff. And so it was like, yeah, that's not going to happen. So so in order to be able to get your sun sign, is easy. It's your date of birth, right? So we know that we're Aries. We know that we are Taurus or Scorpio or whatever, right? So like we know our sun sign, and that's just based on our birthday. And so it's just kind of neat. And so yes, Janice, it's really exciting that you're actually here. I haven't talked to you in a long time. And this is what I've been up to since you and I have chatted. And so, so one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys my chart. And so there's going to be lots of things on it, and I'm going to show you the things that I want you to focus on, as opposed to like focusing on everything. I just want you to focus on the little things that I'm going to be showing you. And like I said, if you read charts, then you're going to see like my whole being aspect of me. I'm a very fiery sign. And so if people don't already know that about me, I'm definitely a fiery sign. And so it is, I've got lots of fire in my chart. And so it is, it's pretty heavy. And and then we've got the different planets that are ruled. I hate it when my hair is backwards. They're the different planets. I want it to go over that way so that it goes back. Oh, my hair drives me nuts. Okay, so we'll just try and see if we can let it fall. But anyway, so hey, Nadia. And so each one of the planets will fall under into a different sign, and they move throughout. So some planets take a really long time to go around, and throughout our entire lifetime, they don't come back again. They stay in that one sign. They always stay in the same spot, or at least it feels like it, because it takes like years for it to go through. And then, but again, those aren't the things that I want you guys to focus on specifically, but just to kind of give you guys an idea that there's like so much more than just what it is that I'm going to share with you guys this week. So I'm going to talk to you guys about the moon signs. Bonjour, Melissa. I'm going to share with you guys the moon signs. I'm going to share it with you guys later on in the week. I'll share with you guys how the moon moves in. So we have like a daily moon. We also have the moon phases. And then we also have the other thing that I'm going to share with you guys this week is the houses and how they play a role in our houses. And so, and then, so yeah, so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of background on that. And so anybody who is in my program, Soulful Life Hacks, is actually going to be learning more of this stuff more in depth over the next 3 months. So like from now until September, we're going to be diving in a little bit more about each one of those aspects of ourselves and personalities. And then, because that program is closed until September, so everybody who's in that program right now, those are the things that we're going to be focusing on in that program. So, but it's really cool and it's really neat. And so, like even the information that I've shared, people are like, "Wow, how do I find out what mine are?" So you need your birthday for your sun sign, and so your sun sign is how you show up in the world, like what it is that's going on, what it is that's happening. And that kind of thing. So like that is like, we all know, like I'm an Aries, I'm a doer, I get things done. You want a task to get things started. I can definitely get it started. When it becomes tedious and like longer term, then it's like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, because I'm that starter. I am ready to be able to kind of get moving. I am not that tedious. Like, don't give me those tedious tasks. Like painting my rail was a tedious task that it's like, this is not fun. So give me something that I can just get done and finished and I'm way to go. But give me like having to do each one of those rails on our building was definitely a challenge for me. Hey, Vicky. And so those are definitely, so those are the different points. And so we've got that. So we've got our sun sign, and then we've got our moon sign. So our moon sign is that internal self, that part of ourselves that people don't tend to see as much, because that's our what we refer to as our shadow side. That's the part that we tend to keep a little bit more secret, that people don't tend to know that much about us. And so mine is an Aquarius sign. And so, and I'll talk about each one of the signs and stuff too, to be able to give you guys a little bit of an idea. But like Aquarius is that humanitarian. And a lot of people think that Aquarius is a water sign because of it being the symbol is a water bearer. But it's actually an air sign. So it's a very much in your head. So I am a fiery thinking kind of person. And so, and then it's pretty like, so it's pretty good. And so, sorry, I just got distracted by somebody's comment. And so, so that's, and then you've got, so that's your moon sign. So that's the part of you that people tend not to see. And I think a lot of people see a lot more of that part of me now than they did before, because that's something that I have, for the last 3 years, I've been really working on using my sign energy. So using those parts and aspects of myself and sharing those aspects of myself. So more people have probably seen my Aquarius side than before. And so then we've got, so that's our second sign. And then our third sign is our rising sun. And so our rising sun, this one here is our mask. This is what it is that we tend to show up in the world as, that people see that part of us. And so I am, I'm very, very shy, very quiet, very to myself, and that's my Aquarius self. And, but because of my Leo rising is that I just show up. I show up and I just do, right? So I show up as my Leo, and then I do as my Aries. But really it's kind of like, I just keep to myself, and would like to be able to keep to myself, because that's that part of me, and that quiet, kind of nonchalant. And so I have a friend who I was over at her place, and she and I had been friends for a while, and I had been over to her place, and so one of her other friends had showed up. And when she was talking, so we were talking, and so I was just kind of like, I didn't really know who she was, and like, you invite me in, because I'm not going to necessarily insert myself. Depends on what it is that I'm doing. Sometimes I will insert myself. My Aries part of me will just kind of take over. Jumping off, need a day today. Okay. Talk to you soon, Jakota. And so it's that part of you, or so that's part of me. So when she was talking and she was sharing and whatever, and so then I'm not sure if it was the same day or another conversation, she's like, I don't think Rolly likes me. And she's like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, she just kind of just sits back and like doesn't really say anything, and she's kind of quiet. And she's like, no, she's definitely not quiet, because I'm definitely not quiet. And but depending on the circumstances, depending on where I am. And so over the years, as she got to know me, she got to see that other, like she got to see my other parts of myself. And so, but it's just something that's really important for us to be able to know, that there's 3 different aspects of ourselves. And again, there's other components to that, but there's 3 different aspects to ourselves. And those pieces are really, really important for us to be able to share. And I'm just going to check because I made myself a note to make sure that I don't forget the things. So I wanted to talk about the 3 aspects. I'm going to actually show my my chart. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen now. So share screen, and I want to do application, share. Okay. So this is my chart. So anybody who knows charts knows that it's pretty heavy in this area. So so everybody has a chart, and I'm using astro.com, the program that I am learning more about, that I really like. It's just that because to be able to share it, I don't know enough of the parts of it, so I didn't want to share that one. So maybe by the end of the week, because I'll actually dive in a little bit more onto it. Because I use it on my phone, but I'm actually downloading the app on the computer. So I'm going to be able to screen share. And so I might use that one later on this week when I go to show you guys something. But so your chart, in most places where you get it. So astro.com does it cheap, or does it for free. They have some paid ones as well, but astro.com, and there are a couple of other ones as well. And what I'll do is I'll actually give you guys links to the different places where you can actually get your signs. But like, this is my chart. So I am an Aries. So this is the symbol for Aries. And so when you actually go to use like when you go to download your chart or whatever, when you get to do it, is that it'll actually show you your natal chart. In order for you to be able to get what your other signs are, is that you need to know what the time of birth is and where you were born. So only one person has your birth chart. There's nobody else in the world that is going to have your birth chart. Because they have to, in order for them to have your exact birth chart, they need to have been born at the exact same moment, at the exact same place. But like even twins are not born at the exact same time, exact same moment. And so like, as you can see, like these are what's called houses. And like I said, I'm not getting into those today, but like each one of these are referred to as houses, and we have 12 of them. And so like if somebody was born, like if I had a twin, potentially this line could be shifted like right over. So like this is where my moon is. I mean, my sun is. So my moon is in, let me try this again. My sun is in my 9th house. And so if I had a twin and that was born at the exact same moment, well, obviously can't be at the exact same moment. So like these little spaces would be a little bit over. So the other person would be born in either before or after me, depending on where they were born, or like when they were born, in terms of minutes and whatever. So like that will make a difference. And so, and then it'll actually show you. So like I was born in Aquarius. So my sun sign and is in Aquarius. My moon sign is in Aquarius. My sun is in Aries. My moon is in Aquarius. My Mercury is in Aries. So like, again, these are all the different planets from when I was born. So if you actually look at my chart, I have Aries, which is fire, Aries, oops, right there, Aries. And then I've got other fire signs that are in here is Sagittarius and so like lots of sun in my chart. And then I've got Leo rising. So the other thing is with your chart. So this is Leo. And so Leo is when you're born is what's coming up. So like this is your first, in your first house. So your, it'll be part of your, let me try that again. So it's in your first house. So this is your rising sun. And so when I actually go back and look at, and I'll go more into these other charts, but when I go into these other charts, this one here is the Libra sun, Aries, right? Or Libra rising. So which is in your house there. So that is the, and so and this is my moon. So my moon is in Aquarius. I've got an Aries, I've got a Leo rising, and I'm in an Aries sun. So this is my sun, this is my moon, and this is my rising sun. And so this is where, and then we actually go around this way. And in terms of like the houses, but again, I'll explain a little bit more about those, how that affects things a little bit. And again, there's lots to do with being in depth with those things. And I have tons of planets in this particular area. Like, so a lot of my planets are in the same spot. So when I kind of scroll through, this one here has a stellium. And this one here has, it's pretty close. Usually it's 3 or 4. Again, it depends on who it is that you get it from. So I was told that it's like 4 or more planets that are a stellium, but it could be, some people will say that it's 3. So this person has 2 stelliums if they refer to them as 3. And then these ones here are kind of spaced out more. And then these ones here are spaced out even that much more, right? So it all kind of depends on which one it is that you have going on. So for me, I have lots of stuff going on in Aries. So like these ones here are all in my Aries, right? So all this stuff, so I've got Chiron in Aries, I've got my sun in Aries, I have my Mercury in Aries, and I've got my my Venus in Aries. And then these ones here are in Taurus sign, right? So I've got my Saturn is in Taurus, and I've got my my Mars is in Taurus. And so my planet, so Aries, is ruled by Mars, which is under Taurus for me. So like I've got that practical self, that kind of thing. So these are the kinds of things that are going on. So I have, like I said, I've got like lots of air, lots of lots of thinking, lots of ideas, lots of humanitarian, and that's just part of who I am at that other level. And so then like I'm actually, this is Sheldon's chart. So Sheldon, for those of you who don't know who he is my husband. And so he is so here's his sun. So he was born in Scorpio. He is a Libra rising, and he has an Aries moon. And so so in my house, there's lots of Aries. And so and I'll actually share, so this is me, and I mean, that was me, and then this is Sheldon. So Sheldon's got some Aries moon. And then when I go into, who's this one? So this one's Casey. So Casey also has some, so Casey and Sheldon are both Libra risings. And then Casey is a Gemini moon. And so, and then we've got Michael. And so Michael is his moon is in his ascendant as well. So, but again, that's not something that we're going to focus on. So he is an Aquarius with an Aries moon. So I am an Aries with an Aquarius moon, and he is a Scorpio rising. So like there's lots in terms of the four of us in the same house. Like we've got lots of huge energy. And then I've got and now we have Brooke, who has joined with Casey. So she is she's a Virgo rising sun with an Aries moon, and she's a moon child. So moon child is a Cancer sign, and so her sun is right here. So this is her in Cancer, and so her so she's a moon child. So like there's lots of stuff, like lots of emotions, lots of different things going on. And so you've got her compared with Casey, and then you've got her compared with me. So there's lots of energy that happens in our life. So hey, Tracy. And so we have, how do you find your moon and rising sun? So sorry, I can't see the comments when I'm actually sharing my screen. So I'll stop sharing my screen. And so how you find them is, there we go. So how you find it is that you need to have your birth, your time of birth and your location of birth. So that is really important for you to be able to find your moon sign and and I think it affects your rising sun as well. But that I'm not positive. But it'll definitely make a difference in your chart. So, so like I said, so when you're looking at your chart, it'll have, so this here is your ascendant, and this is your descendant. And I'm not talking about the descendant signs, but but you have your ascendant and you have your descendant signs. And so I'm a Leo in my ascendant, which is my rising sun. And I'm an Aquarius in my moon sign, and then Aries in my sun sign. So if you, and I'm pointing to the screen, and I'm sharing, I'm moving my mouse around, but you can't see that anymore. And so, because I stopped sharing my screen, so that I can see comments. But it's just really important for you to have, in order for you to be able to have like a true reading, is having you need to have your time of birth, and you need to have your date of birth. And so, and again, I'll go back and share my screen, because on the, so like I said, I use astro.com because this is the one that I started learning 3 years ago, and using this one. And then I had a teacher who was actually using this one. Now that teacher is using a different platform, and I haven't quite got into that other platform, just because I find that it's a little bit more, the screen looks different for me. So it's just, I always go back to this one, but I found one that I really like, that it's just a matter of learning how it works, and it's called Time Passages, because I use that one on my phone. And so it actually has one on the computer as well. So I'll actually be able to share that hopefully this week. And so, like I said, so Janice, one of the questions that you had is how do you find out? So when you know what your sign is, if you use Astro, it tells you right here. And I think a lot of the different signs will tell you right here, like not necessarily in that specific spot, but it'll tell you on your natal chart, Aries and Leo. And one of the other teachers that I use in terms of that I've been using for the last 3 years is that she uses Placidius. So that's the one. And there's other ones that you can use. So when you go on to Astro, so there's free horoscopes. You can do like a lot of different things on Astro. So I'm actually signed in as me, so that there it actually saves it. And so then you go to the natal chart ascendant. And then it's going to bring up what it is that I just showed you, but I just want to show you that it'll actually bring up that chart. So if I do natal chart, hang on, with transits, new person. So I'm going to do a new person, and I'm just going to kind of pick random. So I'm going to say test. So I'm going to say female. And I'm going to say 15 January 1985. I don't know who this might be, but if this is you, then we're doing your stuff. So then at 9 a.m. And minutes, we're going to do 16. And so we're going to do New Liskeard because that's where our hospital is. So if somebody was born at this time, Liskeard, Ontario. There we go. Okay, so this is what this person's chart would look like. So if you know somebody who's born in New Liskeard, born on this date, oh, I don't know why it says, because I put somebody's name was trying to pop up, but that's not a person. So January 15th, 1985, and they were born at 9:16 a.m. Then they would be, and it'll actually, like I said, it'll actually show you on here, but you look for the sun, which is this round and dot. And so this is your sun. So they are born in Aquarius. This is the Aquarius sun. This is the Aquarius sun. Hang on a second. They're born in Capricorn. So they are born in Capricorn, and they have an ascending sign of Aquarius. And so you've got the two of them. So see how the two of them are like really close together. So Aquarius kind of carries over with their 12th house and their first house. And again, we're not talking about that, but I just want to be able to show you that it's kind of split between the two. And so same as somebody who's in Capricorn. So their sun is in the 12th house, but their Capricorn carries over into their 12th house. Into their 11th house. And their moon is right here. So this here is their moon sign, and they are a drawing a blank. That is a it's my husband's sign. What is my husband's sign? My husband's sign is a Scorpio. Brain fart. So this is their, so his moon is, or this person, this is a her that we just created. So this person's sign is a moon sign in Scorpio. Their sun sign is in Capricorn, and their ascendant is in Aquarius. And if we were talking descendant, their descendant is in Leo. And again, this one here is kind of carried over between the two signs. So, and if you notice, the houses are, and this is one of the reasons why, so like just look at the houses and the sizes of the houses. These ones here seem pretty even. This one here is like not even at all, right? So see how this house and this house are huge. And these ones here are always, so like this one here and this one here will correspond, so they're opposites. And so, but these ones here are huge, and then you've got these ones here that are fairly even, and then you've got these ones here are not too bad. And these ones are not too bad. But this person here, whoever was born in 1985, like this is huge. Like they've got huge differences in signs. And so that's the different signs that are actually going on. So it's really neat. So again, you need to have your moon sign. You need to have your date of birth, your time of birth, and your location of birth in order to be able to get this information. So and I know that some people say, well, I don't have it. Then you can kind of guess. But then if you're guessing, you're really not going to have a really accurate idea. So if you can actually find out, so how I know exactly when it was that I was born is that it's in my baby book. So I found, it wasn't written in my baby book, but I found the little anklet thing that actually goes around my foot in the hospital. And so it has the time right on there. So which is why I know what time that I was born, because my mom doesn't remember, but I know for both of my boys when they were born. So those are the parts. And then I've got one more. So giving the link. So I'm going to share the links with you guys in the comments. And so tomorrow I'm actually going to talk about how the daily moons affect us. So, and when I talk about daily moons, it's how the moon moves in on our chart. So I'm going to share those tomorrow. And so I'm going to put a few posts and stuff out there today, but that's what I'm covering today. And if you guys have any more questions in here, definitely let me know. So Janice, if you have any questions when you're actually pulling up your chart, and I know that there was, Lorraine had her info. So like Lorraine, if you actually do go and use it, like I said, I'll give you the astro.com for sure. And then I'll give you a couple of the other ones that you might want to go and check out instead of Astro. It's either one. So, but it's pretty cool. So it's I think it's pretty cool anyway, because it's interesting, and I can like be led into rabbit holes with some of this, as you saw. Is like, so we start off with one thing, then I'm starting to talk about other things. But that's also, remember that I've been doing this now for 3 years, so it's not like I've just all learned it. So when I first learned it, it was like I focused on, I already knew my moons, like my sun sign, and over the years we've learned a lot about who we are as part of our sun sign. And then I started learning more about my moon sign, and then I added the rising suns, and then I started doing the houses. So because there's so many different things that have an aspect of things, and so, but being able to understand what the 3 aspects of you. I had a reading years ago and had been thinking about it recently, and if they were doing your natal chart, that hasn't changed. So your natal chart, if they gave you a if they actually pulled your chart for you and gave you natal information, that never changes. So it doesn't matter what else is going on in the world, your natal chart is your imprint, which is why, like with this necklace, it is exactly the way that it is. And so Lonnie had suggested that I take a picture, and I'll actually put a picture of this necklace in the chat as well. So, but it's like really cool. So it's really interesting. And yeah, definitely, Janice, is if you know, if you've had a reading, like a natal chart reading, then your information is never going to change. The interpretations might be a little bit different depending on what they believe each aspect of it is. So their interpretation might kind of flow in a little differently, but for the most part, it'll be the same. So it's actually kind of neat. So if you have that old chart, that old reading, it'll be really cool. So I have a astrology friend who I just got her to read how things are actually bonjour Diane, how things are actually in my 2020. And so she actually gave me some in-depth about the different readings, because I can go and find them, but because it's not something that I do regularly, it's something that she was able to like do like a full reading. It was like really cool to be able to hear specifically about how those different things are connected and happening in our world right now. So anyway, that's what I have for you guys today, and I will chat later. Bye for now.